All right, it's Neil. I just made a video on how to set up a 12 column grid in Slides, and I want to make a follow up on one format in particular, which is a 3-up. I'll actually write that out here. It goes by a couple names, but it's commonly called a 3-up because it's 3 cards side by side like this. I also realized in the last video I never turned the grid off, so just to show you what it's like. You get that nice snappiness. It feels pretty organized. It feels like things are placed intentionally, and that's what we want. So I have a few tips and tricks on how to set up this 3-up really efficiently. My number one trick is to use one layer for each card. So this isn't 4 layers, this is just one layer, and that's going to help you make a pretty extensible card. All right, so I've got 2 cards side by side. They look about the same, but they're set up differently. So on the left, here's the way that it's typically done, with a separate layer for each element. So there's a background layer and then 3 separate text layers. On the right is the way that I like to do it, and that's everything is one layer. So the entire card is just one layer. Now, the benefit to this, and yes, you can group this and try to make it all stay together, but in my experience, when you have a lot of people working together on one deck, things are being pasted in from multiple sources, people are moving things around, it's pretty much inevitable that the formatting is going to get messed up. And so I like to reduce the number of layers overall to try to keep everything together. That's what I like to do. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to build it from scratch and then how to use it. So let me just create a clean slate here, and we're going to start with the text layer. Okay, we're going to do 4 columns, and let me just type out some dummy text. We got an eyebrow, we got a title, and I'm doing this all in one text layer here, and let me grab some lorem ipsum text. Okay, I usually like to grab up to here. I'm on loremipsum.io. And Command-Shift-V. The shift is important just to make sure that the source formatting is stripped. Let's add a background color. So now we've got a card. It doesn't look good, but we've got a card. And let's just format it. So maybe enter normal, punch up the eyebrow a little bit. Let's go, I don't know, medium. On the eyebrow, 14 should be fine, and maybe a punchy color. Okay, let's go like pretty big on this, I guess. Semi-bold. Okay, you can delete that. And then, yeah, we can probably bring these down to 10. Maybe 14 was fine on that. Okay, so it's tight. Now we got to go in and add the right spacing. So we go custom spacing, then it's after what you want. So let's do like 16. Okay, see how that pushes that down? Maybe let's do 16 again. Oops, that was just 1. Okay, and then I usually like to do like 1.3 or 1.4 here on the line spacing. Let's do 1.3. And then the last thing we need is padding. So if you watch the last video, it comes with default 0.1 padding. I think I did 0.4 on the other card. Maybe let's do 0.3. Okay, not bad. Okay, so we have our card, and the last thing I want to show is how to use it. So we have a 3-up, and maybe we can use this to make a 4-up. So right now it's 4 columns, and because it's all one layer, I can really easily resize it. So as you see, with one click in like 2 seconds, now this is a really good looking 6-column card. But for a 4-up, let's do 3 columns. Okay, and then we're gonna have to adjust some things here. So if I go into format options, I wanna take that padding down a little bit, maybe go to 0.2. And since this is just a demo, I'm just gonna shave off these words, but in real life, I wouldn't be able to do that. Then as you can see, this is auto-fitting right now, this entire card, and I want to make the height not do that. So I'm going to say do not auto-fit, and then let's duplicate it. And I'll show you why I just turned off auto-fit in a second. Okay, so that's a 4 up, and then let me bring in the title here. So that's looking good. So if I'm going from slide to slide, it's looking good, but you can see the cards are shifting around a little bit. This one's a bit lower and this one's a bit higher. So what I like to do, and this is pretty important to me when I'm designing decks, is I want everything to feel really tight. I want it to snap all together. So the first thing I'm going to do is choose a nice clean value for the height of these cards. Let's say 3, you could say 3.2. And then I'm also going to set the Y position, and I'll maybe do, let's do 1.6. Okay, then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to match those values. So for the Y position, let's shift that up to 1.6, and the height is already 3. Then I might need to nudge this title up 1 just to make it feel centered. Okay, so now when I'm switching from slide to slide, everything is staying exactly the same in terms of the card positioning, the card width, the card height, and all that, but the number of columns is changing. Okay, so I could get even more precise with this, with the padding, like that's jumping around a little bit, but something that just stands out to me in decks is when you're going from slide to slide and things are jumping around, it feels pretty unprofessional. So you want things to jump around as little as possible.